This is a true story. It happened in a small village in Enugu State, Nigeria, in 1987. The names have been changed, but the events are real. This is the story of two friends and the betrayal that destroyed everything. Chike and Emeka were born in the same village on the same day in the same month. From childhood, they were inseparable. They called each other brother because their bond was stronger than blood. By 1987, Chike had become a palm wine tapper, one of the best in the village. Every morning, he would climb the tallest palm trees fearlessly, collecting the sweet wine that the whole village loved. He was hardworking, honest, and trusted by everyone. Emeka, on the other hand, had tried many businesses, but nothing succeeded. His trading stall in the market barely made enough to feed his family. While Chike prospered through honest work, Emeka struggled and watched with growing envy. Despite their different fortunes, they remained close friends. Chike often shared his earnings with Emeka, never asking for anything in return. "What is mine is yours, my brother," Chike would say. But Emeka's heart was changing.
Night after night, Emeka lay awake, consumed by jealousy. "Why does Chike have everything while I have nothing?" he thought. "We started from the same place. It's not fair." Darkness was growing in his heart, and darkness was about to answer his call. At the edge of the village lived Mama Adana, a powerful herbalist. People came to her for medicine, for protection, for luck. But some came for darker things, things that required sacrifices. Emeka had heard the whispers, and desperation makes men do terrible things. One moonless night, Emeka crept to Mama Adana's shrine. His heart pounded as he approached. He knew what he was about to do was evil, but greed had poisoned his mind. "You want wealth?" Mama Adana's voice was like dry leaves rustling. "There is a way, but it requires a sacrifice, not an animal, not money." She leaned forward, her eyes gleaming. "It requires the blood of someone who trusts you completely." Emeka's blood ran cold. He thought of Chike, his childhood friend, his brother, the only person who had never abandoned him. For a moment, shame gripped his heart, but then Mama Adana spoke again. "After this, you will be richer than your wildest dreams. No more poverty, no more shame." And Emeka nodded. She gave him a small bottle. "Put 3 drops in his palm wine when the moon is full. He will fall from the tree and die. Everyone will think it was an accident. And within 7 days, money will flow to you like a river." Emeka took the bottle, and his fate was sealed. 3 days later, Chike woke up before dawn as usual. "Today will be a good day," he told his wife Ngozi, kissing her forehead. "I can feel it." He had no idea what was waiting for him. That morning, Emeka came to visit, carrying fresh palm wine. "My brother," Chike embraced him warmly. "You brought wine. Come, let us share before I go to work." Emeka smiled, but inside his heart was black as coal. As Chike turned to greet his wife, Emeka's hand moved quickly. 3 drops from the bottle fell into Chike's cup. 1, 2, 3. The poison swirled invisibly in the milky wine. Emeka's hand shook so badly he almost dropped the bottle. "This is good wine, my brother," Chike laughed, drinking deeply. "Your palm wine is always the sweetest." Emeka watched him drink, and in that moment he wanted to knock the cup from Chike's hand, to confess everything. But he said nothing. He just watched his friend drink the poison. An hour later, Chike was high in the tallest palm tree in the village. Below, he could see the whole village going about its morning. Children playing, women cooking, life continuing as it always had. He felt a sudden dizziness, but shook it off. Just the heat, he thought. Suddenly, his hands lost all strength. The world spun. Chike's eyes widened in confusion as he felt himself falling backwards, away from the tree. The ground rushed up to meet him, and in that brief moment before impact, a strange clarity filled his mind. He thought of Emeka, and somehow he knew. The village erupted in chaos. Ngozi's screams could be heard across the entire compound. Chief Okoro rushed to the scene and knelt beside Chike's broken body. "Check for breathing," someone shouted, but it was too late. Chike, the kind-hearted palm wine tapper, the man who trusted everyone, was dead. Emeka stood at the edge of the crowd, his face carefully arranged in shock, but his hands wouldn't stop shaking. Old Mama Ekene looked at him strangely. "Emeka, you are sweating," she said. "And it is not even hot." Emeka's heart pounded. He turned and walked away quickly, unable to bear the accusing eyes he imagined everywhere. That very night, as Emeka tried to sleep, there was a knock at his door. He opened it to find an old man in ragged clothes standing there. But the man's eyes, his eyes glowed in the darkness. "Mama Adana sends her regards," the man said in a voice that sounded like wind through a graveyard. "The ritual is complete." The old man dropped a heavy bag at Emeka's feet. The sound of coins filled the night. "Your wealth as promised," the man whispered. And then before Emeka's eyes, the old man dissolved into smoke and vanished into the darkness. Emeka stood frozen, staring at the bag of blood money at his feet. Emeka counted the money with shaking hands. It was more than he had ever seen, enough to build a mansion, enough to live like a king. But as he counted, he heard something, a voice, soft at first, then growing louder. It was Chike's voice, calling his name. "Emeka, my brother." Why? The money was useless. Every time Emeka closed his eyes, he saw Chike falling. Every mirror showed Chike's face instead of his own. Every shadow whispered his name. He couldn't eat, couldn't sleep. The village noticed. "Emeka is going mad," they whispered. And they were right. 1 week later, Chief Okoro called Emeka before the village council. "You have been acting strange since Chike's death," the chief said. "Tell us the truth." And Emeka, tormented beyond endurance, broke down. "I killed him," he screamed, falling to his knees. "I poisoned him. I wanted his life. I wanted money. But I can't escape him. He's everywhere. Everywhere." The village turned against him instantly. Ngozi spat at his feet. "You murdered my husband, your own brother," she screamed. Children threw stones. Old women cursed him. Chief Okoro's voice was cold as ice. "Leave this village before sunrise, Emeka. If you are still here when the sun rises, we will do to you what you did to Chike." Emeka fled into the night. He left the money behind. He couldn't bear to touch it anymore. He ran and ran, with nowhere to go and no one to turn to. The man who had betrayed his brother for wealth now had nothing. No money, no home, no peace. Just the ghosts that followed him wherever he went. Months passed. The village slowly healed from the tragedy. Ngozi mourned her husband with dignity, supported by the community. Chike was remembered as the good man he was, honest, kind, and trusting to the end. But Emeka was never seen in the village again. Travelers would sometimes report seeing a madman on distant roads talking to himself about a friend he had betrayed. They say he's still wandering, still haunted, still trying to escape the ghost that follows him everywhere. Some fates are worse than death. This is a true story. The names were changed, but the events happened. It reminds us that betrayal never goes unpunished, that greed destroys everything it touches.